Hello my fine crew, welcome back to Fine Beauty Bible. If you are new here, first of all, let me tell you, thank you for being here. We do lots of beauty news, reviews, skincare, everything here on Fine Beauty Bible. We love to try new things and we love to shop and save money. So if this sounds like your community, welcome. Make sure you subscribe below. In this video, I'm not going to tell you to use retinol, anything that sounds super scary or anything that a beginner would need to be overly careful with. And for my girls that are always here, this is not your first rodeo watching a Fine Beauty Bible video. Welcome back. You know how we do. You know how we're about to break this down. Sit back, get comfortable. You got a good 20 minutes to go. Let's get started. Listen, fear is completely normal. If you are human, you are afraid of something somewhere in the world. For plenty of people, that one thing is skincare, especially complicated skincare. So in this video, I'm not going to tell you to treat your acne using a combination of Accutane, laser treatments, retinol, anything that sounds intimidating. These are things that you can either do if you are afraid of complicated skincare, or if you only are acne prone sometimes and don't need to consistently incorporate acne fighting ingredients into your daily routine. The first and easiest thing to do when you want to treat your acne is to remain consistent with how and when you cleanse your face. And by consistent, I do not mean the word frequent, which is what people often mistake consistency for. Consistency means doing something a similar way daily. Consistency does not mean do it as often as possible, which is what the word consistent is often mistaken as. What I mean by this is sometimes people think that when you get a breakout or something is going on with your skin, that is now your cue to cleanse your face 6 times a day, put every single face scrub you own on your pimple, try to literally scrub the dirt out of your pores. That's not how acne works. Acne is a very slow process, and it starts by having excess dirt, oil, sebum, sunscreen, makeup, etc. clogged in your pores. So that's not something that happens just one day. Therefore, you cannot treat it by washing your face 6 times in one day. You need to, if you only wash your face at night usually, just stay consistent with that. If you are the type to use an oil cleanser and then a water-based cleanser, stay consistent with that. Don't try to change up every single thing in your routine just because a breakout is going on. You can switch out a few things here and there, but this is not the time to go out to the store and completely overhaul your current routine because you don't even know which one of your products caused the breakout. Panic. This is the time to stay calm. Try to pinpoint the target of the acne, and then you can move on to what type of cleanser you want to use. 2 of my favorite cleansers to use when I'm dealing with a breakout is nice and simple, my favorite, the Ordinary Squalane Cleanser, and another one is Kate Somerville. I'll pop the picture up here. This is by Kate Somerville, and it's a cleanser that I love to use when I'm dealing with a breakout. I only use it when I'm dealing with a breakout. All the rest of the time, I will just filter through whatever cleanser I feel like using. So that's the first thing. Reevaluate the cleanser that you're using. You just want to keep it to ingredients that are going to cleanse the face without stripping the face, further irritating it, or over treating that acne. You could also look for a cleanser that has benzoyl peroxide in it, or you can look for a cleanser with salicylic acid in it, but then I think you'd be creeping into that territory where you might be a little bit intimidated. So if you want to keep it simple, go for the Ordinary Squalane Cleanser or this Acne Wash by Kate Somerville. The next thing I like to do is make sure I have some sort of antibacterial product in my routine. Now, some might be afraid of this, but I actually like to use a very gentle ingredient for treating bacteria, and that is the Peter Thomas Roth Sulfur Mask. Now, I've talked about this on here before, and this is my favorite mask for treating acne because it is not salicylic acid, it's not retinol, it is not nearly as harsh. All this is going to do is be anti-inflammatory, aka calm down the skin, and get rid of bacteria. Bacteria, the bad kind of course, is what causes acne, so by targeting it and minimizing it as much as possible without interfering with the hydration of your skin, that is going to be the most effective way to really just get rid of stubborn acne without having to go too ham. Another thing that I think makes this product so approachable is the fact that it's in mask form. I think that people in general tend to be less afraid of face masks than they are of serums or any sort of spot treatment. So this is how it comes. It's just a very, very thick paste. It's almost as if you took toothpaste and added some clay to it to make it a little bit thicker and put it in a jar. That's the texture of it. And I find that the texture combined with what the ingredient actually is a lot less intimidating than stronger acne treatments you might have heard of. Also, because it is not as intense as stronger acne treatments, this is really great for people who are not necessarily acne prone, but do deal with acne sometimes, like myself. The next one I'll show you is a serum that I love. It is actually a PHA. Some skincare brands categorize this as an AHA, some categorize it as a PHA. AHAs are what dissolves dead skin cells from the surface of your skin, therefore leaving you with less texture and brighter skin tone. And PHAs are very similar to AHAs, but they are much more gentle. Like, let's say you have the most sensitive skin in the world, a PHA is what you would reach for, and you could also reach for a very gentle AHA. More gentle AHAs include ingredients like azelaic acid, lactic acid, and mandelic acid. Stronger AHAs include things like glycolic acid, for example. All of those ingredients you might have heard of, but you might be afraid of most of them. One that you do not have to be afraid of is mandelic acid, specifically the one from The Ordinary. I have tried several mandelic acid products from all different brands, and this one is still my favorite. Mainly because it is an anhydrous texture, so it's not super water-based. The molecular weight is not super low. Just to explain right there, let me back up a bit. When a product has a very low molecular weight, it means that it's very liquidy, so it's going to sink deeper into your skin. When a product has a high molecular weight, it means that it's very thick, almost like a butter, cream, lotion, oil, and it sits on the surface of your skin, so it does not go as deep into the skin, therefore is better for sensitive skin types. Mandelic acid has such a large molecular weight that it is very, very gentle of an exfoliant that you can apply. This is great if you are either afraid of chemical exfoliants, have super sensitive skin, have acne prone skin, or are very prone to hyperpigmentation where you don't want to make it worse while trying to treat your acne. Mandelic acid is my favorite exfoliant, and another thing about it is that unlike something like glycolic acid or an AHA, BHA peel, mandelic is safe enough to use when you are currently going through a breakout. So you don't have to wait until the breakout is over or worry about compromised skin, etc. with mandelic acid. So although you might have seen all types of exfoliants all over TikTok, if you're looking for a good place to start with mandelic, okay? So hold your horses, don't jump straight into the retinol, don't jump straight into The Ordinary's red mask, which is the AHA, BHA peel. Just start with this, please, thanks. Another product that I love when I have either a breakout that's not so bad or when I'm not looking to reach for any intense ingredients is a salicylic acid treatment by The Ordinary. But it's not a water-based spot treatment like the one you're probably used to seeing from other brands. Similar to Paula's Choice, for example, they have their 2% BHA liquid. And that is an example of salicylic acid. The one from The Ordinary that I love is actually an anhydrous texture. So rather than being water-based and when you apply it to your pimple, it dries that pimple up, this is actually in squalane, which is a moisturizing ingredient. So just think about an ingredient that very effectively targets your acne, but does not dry your skin out the way a lot of acne products do. You see how it has an almost oily texture? Now, the reason you don't have to be afraid of this oily texture, even if you have acne prone skin or are going through a breakout, is because this oil is squalane. Squalane is non-comedogenic, therefore safe for acne prone skin types, incapable of clogging your pores. And it's super lightweight, so it's not going to feel uncomfortable on your skin. If you are afraid of Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid, if you are afraid of stronger exfoliants, if you are afraid of treatments that you put directly onto your pimple, this is the salicylic acid that I think you should reach for. This is The Ordinary Salicylic Acid 2% anhydrous solution Make sure it says anhydrous, the one in this brown bottle, because the one in the clear bottle is a little bit stronger because it's water-based. Goes back to that same concept of molecular weight that we just went over. The water-based salicylic acid will go deeper into the skin. Even if they're the same 2%, it's going to feel stronger on the skin. Whereas when you put it in squalane, which has a larger molecular weight, therefore mainly just sits on the skin, it's a much slower delivery of that ingredient to your skin, so it's not as harsh as something water-based. So yeah, we went over cleanser, we went over my favorite acne treatments, which are sulfur, mandelic acid, and salicylic acid. Now let's go over some of my favorites, just like quick fixes for acne. So one of my favorite brands for when I'm looking to target a breakout is called Zitstica. You might know them for all of their different acne products. Also, side note, they are now available in all Ulta stores, so you don't have to only order them online anymore while you're waiting to treat this breakout. These you can just now go into any Ulta store and they are available there. So if you have a breakout, you can go pick these up right away. So these are different pimple patches. And the reason I'm holding 3 different boxes is because they are such an acne focused brand that they actually have a different type of pimple patch depending on what stage your breakout is in, which I love. Each patch is individually wrapped, so you're not going to cross-contaminate when you open one and put it on your skin. Inside of each one of these packets is a cleansing cloth so that you can cleanse the area. Then you apply the patch and continue with the rest of your routine. The first kind that they have is called the Killer Patch. These are the ones that you put on up and coming type of pimples. The ones that are still like underneath the surface. You can feel the pain from it, but it's not anywhere near being visible yet. Like you just know it's coming, you know? That's what you use the Killer Patches for. The main ingredient in this is salicylic acid, but also the structure of the patch itself has tiny little micro darts. So it's gonna poke your skin a little bit when you first put it on, and then the dart dissolves so that it's just a flat patch. And it's gonna deliver that salicylic acid to that deep zit. And it's gonna help it to either go away completely so that it doesn't come up at all. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite. When I put the patch on and it just stops an underground, I'm calling it underground, but under the skin pimple from even coming up in the first place. Oh yeah, chef's kiss, that's my favorite. Problem solved before I even had to see it. Great, love to see it. But sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. So sometimes what this will do is it will help to just bring that pimple to the surface faster so that you could just deal with it and be done with it and not be waiting for days and days and days for this pimple to come up and then having to deal with it afterwards. So underground zits, you use the Killer Patches. Let's say now you have a different kind of zit, like the ones that literally look like they are ready to squeeze. You should not pop your pimples. If you have a whitehead type of pimple, then you are going to use the next one that they have, which is called the Zitstica Glue Getter. Now this is what you use on pimples that are whiteheads, and this uses salicylic acid as well as niacinamide. Niacinamide helps to get rid of congestion in the skin that can make breakouts worse. Very effective. It also has a little bit of tea tree in it, which is an ingredient that a lot of people who are afraid of more complicated skincare ingredients already love. So if you are a tea tree oil kind of girl, that's like what you like to use on your pimples, this has a little bit of that in it. And it also has a little bit of salicylic acid as well, which is also in the Killer Patches. So these ones are the Glue Getter. This is for whiteheads. So those are all of my favorite products that I like to use to treat acne that is either not that bad, not that common or frequent, or if I don't want to go in with super hardcore ingredients. But I also have 2 more products that I like to use for the aftermath of my breakouts, because that's a part of the healing process too. Like after I'm done treating the pimple, okay, I got it to flatten, okay, I got it to decongest, yada yada. But if your skin is anything like mine, that dark spot is right on time every time. Like there's nothing you can do to avoid it. That's how my skin is, at least. So I basically include hyperpigmentation care as a part of my acne care, because it's not just a sometimes thing for me. I will get a dark spot if I get a pimple. Like it's just inevitable. One comes after the other. It's not, I never get a pimple and don't get a dark spot. So my 2 favorite products for dark spots, one of them is actually another type of pimple patch from Zitstica, and it's their Hyper Fade patches. This is like a little cocktail patch of all of my favorite hyperpigmentation ingredients. Just to make sure I'm getting it all, I'm gonna read it straight from the label. We have hyaluronic acid, great for hydration, because as you know, hyperpigmentation will not get better if your skin is dry. You got niacinamide, which is great if your pigmentation sometimes starts off red before it turns brown or purple. Ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. You also have arbutin, which is an ingredient that targets your pigment cells and basically tells them to chill out. You don't need to make a dark spot here, clock out, thank you. Also has kojic acid, which is a wonderful natural ingredient for brightening. Licorice root extract. If you don't have a product that has licorice root extract in it, please search for it. It is so, I think it's one of my favorite like little parsley type of ingredients in a hyperpigmentation serum. It's not an ingredient that performs amazingly on its own, but products that have it just sprinkled in there a little bit, it's called licorice root extract, I tend to love. I just always notice it in dark spot products that I end up loving. We also have tranexamic acid, which again targets our melanocytes, those skin cells responsible for pigment. We also have citric acid, which is found in vitamin C, and water, just to, you know, make everything work well with one another. So this is their dark spot patch. This is what you would put on after you're done using the Killer Patch and the Goo Getter, your mandelic acid, your salicylic, whatever. This is like when the pimple is gone, skin is already healed, but you have a dark. And the last product for acne that I make sure I do not skip no matter what is, surprisingly, sunscreen. I know it sounds weird because you're thinking when you go through a breakout, isn't that the time to cut any and everything out of my routine except for acne fighting products? No, you gotta make sure when you're treating this acne, you're also maintaining the overall health of your skin. So this is not the time to start skipping out on your hydration serum. It's not the time to start skipping out on your toner, your essence, your moisturizer, your sunscreen. You can adjust your products to include more acne fighting ingredients, but you do not want to just have a routine where it's an acne face wash, an acne serum, a moisturizer targeted for acne prone skin. Like that more than likely is going to be overboard, and it's either going to cause the acne to get worse or it's going to dry your skin out to the point where you are definitely getting a very stubborn dark spot afterwards. So don't skip your sunscreen. Even while you're having a breakout, you still need to protect your skin from those UVA and UVB rays, which can be so harmful. And that is all. Those are my favorite products and methods that I like to do when I'm trying to target my acne without using intimidating or super targeted for acne type of products. I hope you enjoyed this. I know you might have some questions about other ways that I fight hyperpigmentation, what is hyperpigmentation, maybe other products that I use to treat other skincare concerns. Let me know in the comments below if you already use any of these methods. Just chat below. I'll meet you guys in the comments. As this video is going up, if you're seeing it for the first time right now, I have my eye on the comments, so I'm just waiting for you guys to let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe below if you have not already, and make sure you watch a few more videos here on Fine Beauty Bible. I will catch you guys next week for a whole nother video. Love you, bye.